friends, welcome to our channel Jayaditya Math Tutorial. Actually, we are doing a series of 10th class mathematics, okay, but today we are going to do something different. What is that means? The board DCEB Warangal has conducted online practice test for 10th class students on the topic real numbers. So today I am going to give you the key for that paper. Okay, so without wasting any time, first of all, let us understand what is the format they have given and what are the questions they have given, and let us try to solve them critically. Okay, so see here, Nana, they have given under the first section they have given 3 1-mark questions, now 3 1-mark questions, which is equals to how much? 3 marks. And in the second section they have given 3 2-mark questions, that is equals to 6 marks. And in the third section they have given, actually they have given 4 questions here, but you need to attempt only 2, that is 2 into 4 marks, that is equals to how much? 8 marks. And in the part B, so this is part A, and in the part B they have given 6 choose the correct answers. So we each carries half mark, which is equals to 3 marks, a total of 20 marks. So the paper is given for 20 marks, and let us try to solve each of them. And I told you in the third section they have given choice, as you have in your final exam. They have given 4 questions. For the first 2 questions they have given internal choice, and for the next 2 questions again they have given internal choice. So but we are going to give the key for the paper, so we are going to solve each and every problem without taking any choice. Okay, so let us get into the class today. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe, and if you like my class, please do like it and share with your friends. I hope this class will be very important for you. Okay, so the first question they have given is in the first section, and the first question is find HCF of 250 and 300 using Euclid's division lemma. Okay, so this is very simple question. Already we have done in our classes also. So see here how to solve this one. What is actually Euclid's division lemma? So Euclid's division lemma shows that any positive integer will be of the form, so b cube plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b. So see here the statement will be like this: for any 2 real numbers a and b, there exists q and r, okay, such that a is equals to b cube plus r, and the condition for r is 0 less than or equal to r less than b. So this is Euclid's division lemma, but directly we will be solving here. So how to find the HCF means take the bigger number as a and smaller number as b. You should continue the process till you get the remainder is equals to 0 here. So I am taking like this. So now I can write 300 is equals to 250 into q. That means some quotient must be there. That is 1 plus r, means it will be 15. So if you don't understand this step, you do the regular division here. 300 divided by 250. 250 ones are 250, and you will be remained with 50 here. That only we have written here. 250 into 1. B is nothing but divisor and Q is the quotient. So 250 into 1 plus 50. Plus 50 we have written. So see here. So this is in the place of R, which is not equals to 0. So you should apply Euclid's division lemma on 250 and 50. You should apply Euclid's division lemma on 250 and 50. So this becomes 250 is equals to 50 into 5 plus 0. 50 into 5 plus 0. So here the remainder is equals to 0 now. Whenever the remainder is equals to 0, there the divisor will be the HCF. So you know how to solve this one. So when we are doing HCF in normal division method, you will be taking 250 here as dividend, and 55 are 250. If you got the remainder as 0, then 50 will be your HCF. So here also, what is the HCF now? The HCF of 300 and 250 is 50. So this is the first problem which is given for 1 mark. It is given for 1 mark. That's why I am not writing all the conditions every time. If it is given in 2 marks, you can write apply EDL on 250 and 50, like that you can prolong the solution. Okay, let us go for the next problem. Right, Nana? See here, the second problem is express 1183 as product of primes. You should express 1183 as product of primes, which is nothing but prime factorization. Simply you do the prime factorization, then you will be understanding how to write this one. Simply you do the short division. It is an odd number. Will it divisible by 3? No, it is not divisible by 5. Why? Because the unit place is not 0 or 5. So let us go for the next prime number. What is the prime number now? 7. So C with 7. So you can write 7 ones are 7, and you will be remained with 4 here, and 7 6 are 42, and 6 will be remained, and it will be 69. 169. Again 169 is, you know very well, that is nothing but it is the square of 13. So you can write 13 into 13 into 13. So what you will be writing here, Nana? So 1183 is equals to 7 into 13 into 13. That's all your answer is. Okay, some students are writing the prime factors as 7 and 13. Here he is not asking the prime factors. Understand the question clearly, read the question clearly. He is just asking us to express 1183 as product of primes. You should show that 1183 as product of prime numbers. Okay, now so this is the case. Here he is not asking the product, what, prime factors. Keep in mind. Let us go to the next problem. Yes, the third problem is find the value of log root over x square to the base x square. Now log root over x square to the base x square. So first of all, try to analyze the problem. So see here the base is x square and here the number is also x square. Now so when you have same like this, what you need to do is you need to change this one into powers. Okay, so see here how to find this one. So I am manipulating this one as log x square. If you take out the square root, it will be the power 1 by 2. Now it will be the power 1 by 2, and here the base is again x square. Base is again x square, right? Now so if you observe, this is in the form of log a power m. You can write it as m log a. Now m log a. So you write the reason here. What is the reason here? Log a power m is equals to m log a. And next case is, here you see the numbers, both are same. Now both are same. You know one more formula, that log a to the base a will be equals to 1. Log a to the base a will be equals to 1. So see here, in the place of a you have x square. In the place of a you have x square. Simply you can write 1 by 2 into 1, which answer is 1 by 2 now. That's all. Your answer is 1 by 2. Some students are cancelling x square and x square like this. You should not cancel. Okay, now just you should write the identity why you are writing here 1. Write the reason. That's enough. Okay, so this is the solution for the third problem, that is 1 by 2. Okay, let us go for the next section and next problem. We are in the second section, that is 2 mark section. Here the first question, that means there the fourth question is, this is the first question of second section, but in the serial it is fourth question. The next question is solve. Here he has given something like log 5x plus 3 to the base 2, which is equals to log 2x plus 1 to the base 2 for x. For x he has given. That means you should find the value of x. Okay, so whenever you have seen the problem like this, first of all you observe the bases. So here in both the cases the bases are same. So you have one identity like log a to the base m is equals to log b to the base m. So if this is the condition, log a to the base m is equals to log b to the base m, you can directly write then a will be equals to b. A is equals to b now. So by using that condition, what we can write here, log and base 2 are there. Some students are cancelling them. You should not cancel again. Just write whatever is given in the brackets. That is 5x plus 3, which is equals to 2x plus 1. 5x plus 3 is equals to 2x plus 1. So here you need to find the value of x. This is simple algebraic expressions. You can do easily. That is 5x and bring 2x to left hand side. That will be minus 2x. And here it is 1. If plus 3 comes to this side, it will be minus 3 none. So this is 3x is equals to 1 minus 3 is minus 2. Some students will write here plus 2. That is wrong. Okay, so now x is equals to what, Nana? That is minus 2 by 3. So solve means you should just find the value of x. Your answer is completed here. Right now, let us go for the next problem now. Write any two rational numbers between 2 and 3 none. So here in our textbook, sometimes he will be mentioning a method there like mean method. Okay, but here we don't have any method mentioned there, so you can do as your wish. The thing is you should find two rational numbers between 2 and 3. So see here properly, it is not irrational, that is rational. Some students will be thinking that it is irrational, and most of the students are doing irrational numbers. And some students are doing means they are taking unnecessarily the mean method and they are wasting their time here. Okay, so see here how to solve this is very simple problem. So you should find some numbers between 2 and 3 none. You should find some rational numbers between 2 and 3 no. The thing is how many numbers he is asking. He is asking 2 numbers. He is asking 2 numbers means you multiply and divide both numbers with plus 1 added to 2. Simply you will be doing, okay, do like that, it will be easy when the denominators are equal. Here there are no denominators and you have 1, you can think there is 1 here. So what I'll be doing is, he is asking 2 numbers, so I'll write 2 as 2 into 3 by 3. Can I write? Yes, it will be 2 3s are 6 by 3 none. And if you take 3 into 3 by 3 I will be taking here, that will be 9 by 3. So that means 2 is nothing but it is equals to 6 by 3 and 3 is equals to 9 by 3 now. So you should write any two numbers between them. So the two numbers between them will be 7 by 3 and 8 by 3. That's all, your answer is completed. Okay, for example, you can also take decimal numbers also now. Decimal numbers are also what? Decimal numbers are also rational numbers. Simply you can write like this: 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Like this you can write any number of numbers between 2 and 3. If he asked more than 10 numbers or 100 numbers also, you can write like this. If he is asking 100 numbers, what you will be doing here? 2.11, 2.12, 2.13, 2.23, 2.34, 2.345. Like that you can write anything, but it should be terminating, or if you write non-terminating decimal, it should be repeating decimal. So you know the definition of rational number. What is the definition of rational number here? In decimals. Actually, P by Q form is rational number, but here he has not mentioned anything like that condition. No. So simply you can write any numbers. So in decimals, if it is terminating, it is rational. Even if it is non-terminating and repeating, also rational number only. For example, see here, 2.3 bar is a rational number, 2.4 bar is a rational number, 2.35 bar is a rational number. Like that you can write any number of numbers. But here, if you observe, the solution is only this one. Just you do the simplification, then you write the answer, then your answer is completed. And I want to explain you one thing, that when they are asking mean method means some students are doing some mistakes. Nana, I have observed today itself. What is that mistake means? They are taking the mean method. Yes, that is, you can take that one. So if you take mean method, the first number between 2 and 3 will be 2 plus 3 by 2, which is equals to 5 by 2. That's okay, fine. That is correct. 5 by 2 is correct. So this 5 by 2 is in between 2 and 3, which is equals to 5 by 2. Nana. This is right. This is the rational number between 2 and 3. This is correct. But in the next step, they are doing some mistake. They are taking like this: 2 plus 5 by 2. That's all. 2 plus 5 by 2 they are taking, and 2 2s are 4 plus 5, that is 9 by 2 they are writing. If you simplify 9 by 2, it will be equals to 4.5, which is greater than 3. If you simplify 9 by 2, it will be 4.5, which is greater than 3. So your answer is wrong here. Here you will be awarded only half mark, not complete full marks. Okay, so what we should do here means, you should add this one and again you need to divide by 2. Why? Because this is a number and this is a number, and you should add both the numbers and you should divide by 2. Then your answer will be 9 by 2 by 2, which is equals to 9 by 2 into 2. Why? Because this is the denominator of the fraction, this is the denominator. Both are denominators only here. So you should do 2 into 2, that will be 9 by 4. I have observed this mistake also. They have cancelled 2 and 2 like this and they have written 9. How foolish is it, right? So the answer is 9 by 4. You can write, now you can write the numbers like this. 5 by 2 is one number and the other number is 9 by 4. Where it will be, Nana? It will be here, 9 by 4. So by using mean method also, you can write any number of rational numbers between any two numbers. Just I want to re-explain this one. Why? Because most of the students are making mistakes unnecessarily. Okay, let us go to the next problem now. So it is the 4-mark question, Nana. Show that 5 plus 3 root 2 is not rational. That means you should prove that it is irrational. So how to solve this one? This is the easiest one when you are proving irrational numbers. Now this is the easiest. Okay, so how to prove this one? The first step, as usual, let us assume 5 plus 3 root 2 as rational number. Okay, first of all you need to assume 5 plus 3 root 2 as rational number. So you can write 5 plus 3 root 2 as P by Q, which is equals to P by Q. Why? Because rational number will be in the form of P by Q. Here there is no need for squaring. Unnecessarily some students are doing squaring here. This is the only model where you don't need squaring none. How to identify means, one number will be the rational number and other number will be irrational. If you have the combination like this, rational plus irrational or rational minus irrational, there you need not do any squaring none. Directly you can solve the problem here. So see here, keep the irrational number this side only and take the remaining to RHS. This is 3 root 2 is equals to P by Q minus 5. P by Q minus 5. So this is 3 root 2 is equals to P minus 5Q by Q. After simplification, Q into 5 is 5Q and you should write the denominator Q. And then root 2 is equals to P minus 5Q by Q, and you bring 3 to RHS, it will be in the denominator. Okay, now after writing up to here, so what are the things you can see in the RHS you see now? So what are the things you can see here? You can see P, 5, Q and 3 as P comma 5 comma Q comma 3 are integers. Who told you these are integers? So here we have written it is in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers there. and you know 5 is an integer, 3 is also an integer. Okay, are integers. Therefore, what happens if these are integers? What happens here? The value which is there here, that is p minus 5q will be integer and 3q will be integer, and integer by integer is a rational number, is rational. Okay, so you got this as rational, but actually you know that root 2 is irrational, so you should mention that point. But this contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational. Okay, now this contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational. So what happens? Hence, our assumption is false. Therefore, what is our assumption? Our assumption is 5 plus 3 root 2 as rational number. That is false here. So what happens? Therefore, 5 plus 3 root 2 is an irrational number. That's all. This is the problem given for 4 marks. Okay, now. So understand the sequence here, how we are writing. Okay, then practice more now. You'll be getting definitely one problem from proof of irrational number. So practice more. Okay, let us go for the next problem. Right, Anna? See here, let us go for the next problem, that is 7th problem. You have an internal choice between 6 and 7, Anna. So you should attempt either 6 or you should attempt either 7. You should attempt any one. So what is the 7th question is, show that root 7 is an irrational number. Root 7 is an irrational number. In your textbook you have root 2, like that, root 5, but he is asking root 7, whatever might be the number under root. So the method is only 1. So if you find only one irrational number and you are asked to show that it is an irrational number, so what you need to do? First of all, the first step is same. Let us assume root 7 is a rational number. So what happens? Root 7 is equals to p by q. You can write root 7 is equals to p by q none. And also you can write root 7 is equals to a by b, where a comma b are co-primes. For example, how I am writing this one means, you observe one thing. For example, some x is there, Nana. I am taking x as 4 by 6. Okay, now I am taking x as 4 by 6. So you can think this 4 is p and 6 is q here. So now x is in the form of p by q. After simplification, what happens here? 2s are 3s are. Now I can write x is equals to 2 by 3, which is equals to a by b here, man. So this is in the lowest terms here, where a and b are co-primes. What are co-primes? They will not have any common factor other than 1. So that is the case. That means a should have no common factor such that it has with b. Okay, now a and b will not have common factors. So that is the case. And how to proceed in the problem? Let us see now. Here you need to do squaring, Nana. So squaring on both sides. Okay, squaring on both sides. What happens here? Root 7 whole square is equals to a by b whole square. Root 7 whole square is equals to a by b whole square, which gives you square and root gets cancel. 7 is equals to a square by b square. So 7b square is equals to a square, Nana. 7b square is equals to a square. Let us take this as equation 1. Let us take this as equation 1. And one thing you should know here is a square is written as 7b square. A square is written as 7b square. So if you observe a square, when a square is divided by b square, the answer is 7. If a square is divided by b square, the answer is 7. That means a square is divisible by 7. So you can write here a square is divisible by 7. A square is divisible by 7. So if a square is divisible by 7, a also divisible by 7. This is by theorem. You have a theorem. So you can write here by theorem. Okay, if a is divisible by 7, what happens? So you can mention A is equals to, you can write A as A is equals to some 7B. A is equals to 7B, you can write here, so not B, you can write A is equals to 7 into some other number, that is 7C. A is equals to 7C now. So what happens? You substitute this one in equation 1. You substitute A is equals to 7C in equation 1. What is our equation 1? That is, equation 1 is nothing but 7b square is equals to a square. 7b square is equals to a square. So this becomes 7b square is equals to a means 7c. It will be 7c whole square. Here also some students will make mistake. They will be just writing 7c square and they will be cancelling 7 and 7. There the problem will go. So you should write whole square. Now this becomes 7b square is equals to 49c square. 7 ones are 7, 7s are. So b square is equals to 7c square now. That means b square is divisible by 7, right? That is, b square is divisible by 7. B square is divisible by 7. So what if b square is divisible by 7? B is also divisible by 7. B is also divisible by 7. So see here now. Here you have mentioned A is divisible by 7. Here you have mentioned B is also divisible by 7. That means 7 is the factor of B and 7 is the factor of A. That means you can write here, this implies A comma B have 7 as common factor. What happens if they have common factor other than 1? You can write here A and B are not co-primes. A and B are not co-primes. Actually what we have taken here, root 7 is equals to A by B, where A and B are co-primes. That is our assumption actually. Hence our assumption is false. Hence our assumption is false. Therefore what you can say here, that is root 7 is an irrational number. Okay, Nana, I hope you have understood this one. Practice more, Nana. Definitely you will get one question from proofs here. Okay, let us go to the next question. 8th problem. So third bit, 8th question, that is, show that any positive odd number, odd integer is of the form 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3 or 6 cube plus 5. So you should show this one. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 6 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 3 or 6 cube plus 5. So just by observing the question you can understand the question is related to EDL, that is Euclid's division lemma. Why? Because this is in the form of b cube plus r, that is in the form of b cube plus r. If you compare 6 cube plus 1 with b cube plus r, what happens here? So the b value is 6. So you got the hint here only. Only in this case you should take like that. Okay, in each and every case you will be having, sometimes you will be having square of a positive integer, sometimes you will be having cube of a positive integer. So just read the question. Here you don't have any squaring or any cubing here. Cube of a positive integer is not given, square of a positive integer is also not given. He has just given, show that any positive odd integer. So simply you take the problem as, so every, let you take like this, let A is any positive integer. Okay, so by EDL, what you can write? By EDL, you can write A is equals to b cube plus r, and what is the condition here? 0 less than r less than b none, less than or equal to r less than b. So that is the condition. So let here b is equals to 6. So what are the possible remainders you will get here? That is r will be equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the possible remainders will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so from here take case 1. What is the case 1 here? Case 1 means A is equals to b cube plus r, take b is equals to 6 and r is equals to 0. Take b is equals to 6 and r is equals to 0. Before that you should know one more point also. What is the general form of an even number and general form of an odd number none? So you should know that one first. So the general form of an even number will be in the form of 2m. The any integer which is in the form of 2m is even, and any integer which is in the form of 2m plus 1 is odd number. So you substitute any integer in place of m, then you'll get an odd number here. If you substitute any positive integer in the place of m, you'll get even number. So this is the previous knowledge you should have here. So every time you should show the number in the form of either 2m or 2m plus 1. Okay, the first case is, so A is equals to 6q I am taking. Why? Because r is equals to 0. R is equals to 0. This implies A is equals to 6q. What I can write here? I can write it as 2 into 3q. Why? Because I want it to be in the form of 2m or 2m plus 1. So A is equals to, this is in the form of 2m, where m is 3q. Where m is equals to how much, Nana? Where m is equals to 3q. So you can write this is even number. So you can write this as even number. Let us go for case 2. Let us go for case 2 now. Case 2 means here a is equals to bq plus r. You take b is equals to 6 and r is equals to 1. B is equals to 6 and r is equals to 1. So what happens here? A is equals to 6q plus 1. So you can write this as 2 into 3q plus 1. Now I have plus 1. So I can write it as 2m plus 1. So this becomes 2 into m plus 1, where m is equals to how much? That is 3q. So and this is in the form of 2m plus 1. So what happens to this one? This is nothing but odd number. This number is odd. Similarly, go for the next one. Case 3. Case 3, you take b is equals to 6 and r is equals to 2. B is equals to 6 and r is equals to 2. So what happens here? A is equals to 6q plus 2. This will be equals to, if you take 2 common, it will be 3q plus 1 in the bracket. So a is equals to in the form of 2m. A is in the form of 2m. What happens now? This is even. You can write where m is equals to 3q plus 1. And let us go for case 4. What will be case 4 here? B is equals to 6 and r is equals to 3 now. B is equals to 6 and r is equals to 3. This becomes a is equals to 6q plus 3. I will be manipulating here 3 as 2 plus 1. Why? Because I should take 2 common. So I will be writing plus 2 plus 1. So this is equals to a is equals to 2 into 3q plus 1 in the bracket plus 1. 2 into 3q is 6q. 2 into 1 is 2 nano. Okay. So what happens? This will be in the form of 2m plus 1, which is odd. That is in the form of odd number. Go for case 5. So if you go for case 5, it is b is equals to 6 and r is equals to 4. Right? A is equals to 6q plus 4 and this is equals to 2 into 3q plus 2. This is in the form of 2m. What happens to this one now? Even. That is in the form of 2m. That is nothing but even. Go for the last case. That is case 6. Case 6 is b is equals to 6 and r is equals to how much now? You should take r is equals to 5. So a becomes a is equals to 6q plus 5. Just manipulate here again. I will be writing this as 4 plus 1. Why? Because I should take 2 as common here. So a is equals to 2 into 3q plus 2 plus 1. A is equals to 2m plus 1. This is in the form of 2m plus 1. So this becomes odd number. Okay. That's all. You can write where m is equals to 3q plus 2. So if you observe here, in the case 2, it is odd. In the case 4, it is odd here. And in the case 6, it is odd number. So you can simply write, therefore, the odd positive integer is of the form what nana? So wherever you got odd, so the first thing is 6q plus 1, or the second odd number is here, that is 6q plus 3, and the third one is here, that is 6q plus 5, or 6q plus 5. Hence shown. That's all. Your problem is completed. Okay now. So unnecessarily don't go for squaring. Whatever the b value you are taking, you need to write all the cases now. You should not miss even a single case in order to get full marks. Okay. Let us go to the next problem now. Okay, let us go for 9th problem. He has given that log x plus 4 plus log x minus 4 is equals to 4 log 2 plus log 15. Find x none. Find the value of x. It is given like this. So how to solve this one? Just stick on to the identities basics and just go on simplifying. Then you will be getting x value. Okay, let us go like that. So first of all, you need to understand some things here. So let us write the first step as it is in the LHS. X plus 4 log x minus 4 is equals to, this is in the form of m log n. So you can write it as log 2 power 4 plus log 15. So you have manipulated one step here. So you should definitely write the reason here why you have manipulated that one. So that is in the form of m log a, which is equals to log a power m, which is equals to log a power m. Then you can write here log x plus 4 plus log x minus 4. This is like log a plus log b. You can write it as log ab. So this will be x plus 4 into x minus 4. Okay now, here some students are making mistakes. Plus 4 and minus 4, they are cancelling. You should not cancel. That is multiplication, not addition. Okay, and here also you can do the same thing. This is log a plus log b. You can write as log a into b. Okay now, so you write the reason here. That is since log a plus log b is equals to log ab. Okay, log a plus log b will be equals to log ab. So this is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. A plus b into a minus b will be a square minus b square. So write this one as log x square minus 4 square. Log x square minus 4 square. And here the value will be log 2 power 4 is how much? 2 power 4 is nothing but 16. 16 into 15, which is equals to 240 now. Which is equals to 240. Clear? and you write one more thing here, that is a plus b into a minus b is equals to a square minus b square, a square minus b square. So again you can observe one more thing, that here you have bases are equal, you don't have bases, that means you can take the base as 10. So in both the cases the bases are equal, so you can simply write like this, x square minus 4 square is nothing but 16 is equals to 214. So what is the reason you can write here, since log a is equals to log b, this implies a is equals to b nana. If log a is equals to log b, that implies a is equals to b. So what happens to x square now? X square will be 240 plus 16. So x square is equals to 256. X is equals to root over 56, that is plus or minus you should take here. So x must be equals to plus or minus 16. Here you can take any value in other cases, but here in case of logarithms, if you take minus 16 here now, if you take minus 16 in place of x, that will be minus 20. Logarithm of a negative number is undefined, so you should not take negative. So the answer will be positive 16 only. So what is the answer now? The answer is 16. X is equals to 16. So in 8th and 9th questions also, again they have given one internal choice now. So you should attempt either this one or the previous one. So this is the case. And with this the part A is completed. Let us go into part B. Yes Nana, let us go for part B now. So in the part B, each question carries half mark. You have total 6 questions. So total bit consists of 3 marks here. So some questions are simple, just by looking at them you can solve it. So see here, if p by q is terminating decimal, then the prime factors of q, the prime factors of q you should identify here. So see here, what is the condition he has given? It is the terminating decimal. So you should know the theorem. So the prime factorization of q should have only the prime factors as 2 or 5 or 2 and 5. It can be either 2 or it can be 5 or 2 and 5. So the prime factorization of the denominator should contain the prime factors of only 2, or it can have 5, or it can have 2 and 5 both. If it has any other integer in the denominator, then it is nothing but repeating decimal. It is not terminating actually, it is not terminating. So see here, he has asking us, so what is the prime factorization of terminating decimal here? So 3 is not the answer, 2 it can be the answer, 5 also answer. So see here in the option D he has given B and C. So our answer is D here. So why? Because it can have 2 or 5 or 2 and 5. So here he has given B and C, so this will be the best answer. So you can put there D. And next one is prime product of 288, prime product of 288. If you observe 25, it is not prime. So this is not the answer. That is not the answer. And how to find this one means simple Nana. So see here, prime product of 288 means you do the prime factorization. That means you do the short division here. So 288 is there. So you do it with, divide with 2, then it will be 144. And if you divide, it will be 72. If you divide again, it will be 36. If you divide again, it will be 18. Again, if you divide, it will be 9. And 9 is nothing but 3 into 3. So how many 2's you have? You have 2 power 5. And you have 3 as 3 square. So 2 power 5 into 3 square must be your answer. So here you have 2 power 5 and 3 into 3 is nothing but 3 square. So what is the correct answer now? The correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. You should take only prime numbers. You should not take any other number. Okay. Let us go for the next one. Decimal form of 3 by 4. Decimal form of 3 by 4 now. So you can do it in 2 ways. You can directly divide, or you can do one more thing, that so 4 can be written as 2 square. 4 can be written as 2 square. So you multiply both sides with 5 square. So this is 5 square into 5 square. So in the numerator and denominator you multiply with 5 square. This is the method of finding decimal without actual division. Sometimes you may get a question in 1 mark or 2 marks without doing actual division. Find the decimal expansion of 3 by 4. So you should do this method here. First of all, you prime factorize 4, you will be getting 2 square. So you multiply with 5 square. So obviously here the denominator will be 2 square, 5 square means it will be 10 square, which is equals to 100 now, which is equals to 100. And 5 square is 25, 25 into 3 is 75. What is 75 by 100? So the answer is directly 0.75. So here the option will be D. So you can do division also, you know that one. Take 0 point and your dividend will be 30 and you go on dividing. Again you will get the same answer. The next one is 1 by root 4 is a dash number. Just by looking at the root symbol, most of the students will make a mistake here. Actually root 4 is how much, Anna? So 1 by root 4 is given. 1 by root 4 can be written as 1 by 2. So this is 1 is integer and 2 is also integer. It is in the form of p by q. So it becomes a rational number. Most of the students has written it as irrational number, but what is the answer here? The answer is rational number. And the next one, so see here Anna, what is the decimal expansion he has given? That is 69 by 3 into 2 into 5. Just now I have explained you in the very first problem here. So if it is terminating, it should have 2 or 5 or both. if you have any other number, it should not be terminating. I told you, no, it should not be terminating. So in order to confuse you, he has given in the denominator 3 nano. So but you have to simplify this one. So you can simplify this one like this: 3 ones are 323 are 323 are. So now the fraction is 23 by 2 into 5 now. 23 by 2 into 5. In the denominator you have 2 and 5. So what it should be? It should be a terminating decimal. So answer is A. Most of the student has written wrong for this one now. So this kind of questions will decide who should get 10 out of 10 and who will not get. So see here, again you have logarithm question. Both are same here. Both are the same numbers. So log a power m, that is in the form of log a power m. You can write it as minus m log a nano. That is m log ax and ax, these values are same, so this complete value of logarithm will be equals to 1. Minus 1 into 1 is minus 1 nano. So again here, in order to confuse you, he has given plus 1 as one option, just 1 as one option, and minus 1 as other option. Actually both are same. If you don't have any symbol before, it should be positive. So he is testing that also. Okay, so this is your complete paper which is conducted by DCEB Warangal for practice of 10th class students before your examinations. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed the class, you like the class. If you like my class, please do like it. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. If you don't subscribe also, please do subscribe and hit bell icon in order to get notifications. I will be making some interesting videos in our coming classes. Okay, let us meet in our next class. Till then, bye.